Welcome back to the show. This is your host, David Yanez, and you're watching Ignite Your Day. God bless you. Thank you for tuning in and being a part of our broadcast. You need to know that God is always with you. No matter where you go in life, God is with you. No matter how hard the things that you run into, God is with you. I had a call the other day from my sister. She was so concerned for my cousin, my older cousin, and my sister's older than me, and she just said that she had some bad news. She had gone to the doctor, and she had been feeling weak. She's been very energetic naturally in life, but all of a sudden she works as a nurse and caregiver, and her entire body started to just get fatigued. She wasn't doing anything different. She's, of course, working through this whole COVID thing. She thought she was getting sick, maybe even picking up COVID. And the amazing thing that happened was that she reached out to my sister to ask her to just talk to her and encourage her. And she said, well, listen, I know you want me to tell you it's going to be okay. The doctors already gave her a report, and she was needing someone just to talk to, so she called my sister. And the doctors gave her a report that she had cancer, and that the cancer was serious in already stage 3 or stage 4, and that don't know what they could do for her. So all these words that they gave her, and that's why her body was shutting down, and she had no idea of what to do, but just to call and reach out to her family member. And my sister said, listen, ever since my brother has been with the Lord and he's ministered, and I would call him with issues that I had and problems that I had physically. And when he was in the Navy, he would pray for me, and I'd go back to the doctor, and I was healed. And he was in traveling, and I'd call him, and I'd get healed, or I'd visit a service and I'd get healed. And I'm thinking you need to talk to my brother. So she said, okay, well, have him call me if he can. I don't want to interrupt. Let me tell you, my friends, you are never interrupting me when it comes to prayer. You are never interrupting me when it comes to a need. In fact, I have friends in San Diego and that constantly send me a text, and I constantly keep them lifted up in prayer. They're my ministry partners. They constantly just send a gift whenever they can, and it's not about that, but it's about being available for people to pray. I constantly answer the messenger. I constantly answer emails, and I try. And we get so many, I try to answer as many as I can and reply to them. God's the one that answers prayers, praise God. But I reply to them. God still needs me to type it out. I reply to them, and God does move in miraculous ways. And he touches them. Well, my cousin, I called her and talked to her for a few minutes on the phone, and just to see what she was. And she wasn't like really bad or just hurting. She just said, I just don't believe those reports. I don't have cancer. I go, well, that's a good thing. And there's some things I had to lead her to on forgiveness. Things I had to lead her to on, she was doing something crazy. She was praying that all the sicknesses will go away from the people and come to her. And that was just something, you don't do that. It's something you're inviting demonic presences in your life. And I walked her through recanting that, walked her through praying over that. I remember one other person telling me that they did that, and they're constantly demon possessed. And that's the only thing out of experience. Now, the Bible don't show you how or not to say that, but out of experience, I've seen people that have said, no, let them be sick, let me be sick. Your words are powerful. Your words speak life and death. So if you're speaking that over yourself and over them, that sickness is going to hit you. Well, it hit her, and it came in the form of cancer. I talked to her for a little bit, led her through a prayer to recant that and to stop praying like that. It's just to pray that God heals them, because God can heal them. He don't have to take the sickness and put it in you. He can send it away. It doesn't have to go in anyone. And we prayed. We talked for a little bit more longer, and I prayed one more time for her and said, look, I know you're going to be fine. I know that things are going to be well. God is going to do what God does, and we're going to trust him because we know God is God. He's able to do this. Well, guess what? I just got a text before I came on the air, and she texted me and said that she was well, that all reports have come back negative, that she had no more cancer in her system, that God had healed her. Now, this was over the phone that I prayed for her, and this is her texting me on my phone to let me know that things are good. She goes, I am healed. God did what God does. And that's what I told her. God did what God does. He's an amazing, wonderful, amazing God. He's able to heal. It reminds me of the young man that was sent home at our services back in 2000, a few years back. And he had been sent home by the doctors. The doctor said that he will no longer live but die because he had stage 4 cancer. And he came to my event. We prayed over him. And then I have this long text, and I probably still have the text on my phone. I gotta find it. I don't see my phone, but I probably still have the text on my phone. And it was about this man being healed. He went to the doctor the very next week. The doctor checked him out and said, what are you doing here? And he said, I want to get tested again. He goes, things haven't changed. He goes, you're still the same. He goes, well, I believe I'm healed. And do you know what? This man was healed of cancer. God moved and touched on his behalf. God moved mightily on his behalf. Now that's what God does. That's how God does it. God works miraculously. Whithersoever thou goest, God said, he's with you. Wherever you go, he's with you. Be strong. Be not afraid. Neither be dismayed. For the Lord thy God is with thee whithersoever thou goest. God is an amazing God. He's able to heal, touch, and deliver. He healed my cousin. He healed this guy out there in Sugar Land, Texas. And I know that he can heal you right now. I believe it. Believe it, believe it, believe it. Stay tuned for another great Igniter of Faith session coming up right now. God bless.